No gimmicks, no stripped-down compromises. A real car, ready for the road and priced to destroy everything in its path. Electric vehicles have been treated as status symbols, not solutions. They are too expensive, too niche, and often more hype than reality. But seemingly overnight, this announcement changed everything, and the shockwaves are already hitting hard. So how did Toyota pull this off? Why is Tesla scrambling? And is this the beginning of the end for gas-powered vehicles? Stay with me, because by the time this is over, you'll understand why this isn't just about cars. It's about who controls the future, and right now, that future is slipping away from Elon Musk, the budget beast that shattered Tesla. Toyota, the same brand that built its reputation on quiet dependability, just threw the loudest punch in the history of electric vehicles. And it did it with something no one expected: performance. Real, honest, head-turning performance from a car that costs less than a set of luxury rims on a Tesla Model S. The new electric sport utility vehicle Toyota has unleashed onto the world is not some slow-moving city crawler. It accelerates like it has something to prove, and the truth is, it does. In a market dominated by high-performance showmanship, Toyota's budget electric vehicle isn't trying to win drag races, but it doesn't need to, because what it offers is more valuable than blistering 0 to 60 speeds. It delivers a confident, responsive drive that makes commuting feel less like a chore and more like a choice. Torque hits instantly. There's no lag, no awkward gear hunting, no engine noise trying to mask mechanical fatigue. This thing is smooth. When you press the pedal, it moves like it knows exactly what you want, and it gives it to you. It's not just quiet, it's calm. No clunky acceleration, no delay, just motion. That's what most people misunderstand about electric vehicles. It's not always about speed, it's about feel. And this one feels good for everyday drivers. This is a game changer, because for the first time, the phrase daily driver doesn't mean giving up joy behind the wheel. Toyota's electric vehicle proves that you don't need a six-figure budget to get an experience that feels alive. It's not some stripped-down appliance on wheels. It's a machine that wants to move. And that range anxiety everyone talks about? Toyota has built in the kind of reliability that lets you stop thinking about the battery and start thinking about your next destination. This isn't theoretical, it's real. You can drive to work, run errands, take the kids to school, and still have range to spare, all without needing a supercharger map. It's bold, it's efficient, and it's ready. This isn't just cheap. It's quick, confident, and capable enough to make Tesla nervous. But that's just what happens when you step on the pedal. The real surprise starts when you open the door. The interior that feels like a Lexus. Here's what no one expected. This EV doesn't just feel comfortable, it feels expensive. You slide into the driver's seat and stop. Not because something's wrong, but because something's so right. The interior looks like it came from a car 3 price brackets above. This isn't a nice for the price situation. This is nice. Full stop. Front and center is a 14-inch touchscreen that dominates the dashboard like a centerpiece in a modern home. It's fast, it's fluid, and it's as easy to use as a smartphone. Touch controls don't lag. Menus make sense. This is not some cheap knockoff software jammed into an entry-level car. It feels built-in, thoughtful, purposeful. Then, there's the 8-inch digital instrument cluster. It doesn't just show you your speed, it tells a story. Every animation, every dial, every battery update feels like it was designed by someone who actually drives cars, not just someone who draws them. But it's not just screens. Toyota clearly understood that drivers don't just want tech, they want comfort. Rear air vents keep passengers happy in the back. Multiple USB-C charging ports let every rider stay connected. There's a wireless charging pad up front, a foldable center armrest. Even the materials on the door panels feel soft to the touch, not hard plastic like you'd expect in this segment. And then there's the lighting. 32 ambient colors. 32. That's not just a gimmick, it's a mood. You can set the cabin to match your playlist, your outfit, or your attitude. It feels high-end because it is. This is what entry-level luxury used to feel like before car makers started stripping out features just to hit a price point. Toyota didn't cut corners. They found new ways to build value into every panel, every button, every surface. It doesn't just drive like a dream. It feels like it was never meant to be this cheap. And if you think the inside redefines value, wait until you see what this thing looks like from the outside. The SUV that doesn't look like it costs 13 grand. You'd never guess this. Thing costs less than a used Honda Civic. Let's get one thing straight. This is not a tiny commuter pod that hugs the curb like a scared squirrel. It's a full-sized, bold-faced, road-dominating SUV, and it wears that badge proudly. Size-wise, it stacks up against the Toyota RAV4, one of the best-selling sport utility vehicles on the planet. That's no accident. Toyota knows what families want, what commuters crave, what young professionals dream about. This is the size sweet spot. Big enough to haul gear, groceries, or weekend luggage, small enough to still fit in your garage without needing a backup camera ballet routine. And the design? It's not quirky, it's confident. Sharp LED lighting, angular side creases, and a front grille that says, "I'm not here to play nice, I'm here to compete." You get road presence without the road rage. It's got a stance that looks more expensive than it is. With body lines that curve and cut in all the right places, this isn't one of those, for the price, it looks okay designs. This is clean, modern, and head-turning, especially when someone finds out what it costs. This thing pulls up to the school drop-off line or the office parking lot and blends in with cars that cost double, sometimes triple, but you'll know. And that's the fun part. It's not just about function, it's about pride. This car turns heads in the parking lot. We pored over specs, design sheets, and driver impressions to cut through the hype and show you why this EV isn't just affordable, it's disruptive. Now you know what Tesla didn't see coming. If that saved you hours of digging, hit subscribe and ride with us. But the real magic isn't what you can see, it's what you can't. Underneath this car is a platform designed to crush the competition. The invisible weapon, Toyota's platform, master stroke. While everyone else was racing, Toyota was reloading, and now they've fired the first shot. It's easy to get swept up in the headlines. 14-inch touchscreen, 8-inch digital display, advanced safety systems, a price tag that seems like science fiction. But all of that, every feature, every number, every inch of this new electric sport utility vehicle sits on top of something most people never see. It's not just the car that makes this story historic. It's the platform, the strategy, the system underneath it all. This wasn't luck. This was precision. And it all started with a quiet handshake between Toyota and a Chinese powerhouse called Guangzhou Automobile Group, better known in China as GAC. On its own, GAC is one of the fastest-moving, most cost-efficient car makers in the Chinese domestic market. But combined with Toyota's legendary standards, that changes the game entirely. Toyota didn't partner with GAC to survive. They partnered to scale, to build a car that didn't just compete with Tesla or Volkswagen, but crush them on volume, cost, and practicality. This partnership gives Toyota something most of its rivals don't have: instant access to a mature, low-cost EV manufacturing ecosystem. GAC knows how to build electric vehicles for price-sensitive buyers. Toyota knows how to build them to last. Together, they can build faster, cheaper, and smarter than anyone else in the industry. But this isn't just about who they partnered with. It's about what they built. Toyota made one of the boldest moves in modern electric vehicle history when it walked away from traditional lithium-ion batteries in favor of lithium-ion phosphate chemistry. LFP batteries don't win drag races. They're not the poster child of electric performance, but they do something far more important. They deliver safe, reliable power at a fraction of the cost. No nickel, no cobalt, no geopolitical supply risk, just stable, abundant materials that can be mass-produced by the millions. The shift to LFP is why Toyota can price its new EV so low without sacrificing long-term durability. These batteries last longer, degrade slower, and cost less to maintain. For the everyday driver, that means fewer trips to the service center, lower ownership costs, and a longer-lasting vehicle overall. It's not the flashiest decision, but it might be the smartest. And then there's the final piece of the puzzle: manufacturing. Toyota didn't just stumble into efficient production, it invented it. The company's just-in-time manufacturing system, pioneered all the way back in the 1970s, is still the gold standard for lean, waste-free vehicle assembly. It means every single bolt, panel, and cable arrives exactly when it's needed. No piles of unused inventory, no bloated storage, just razor-sharp logistics that have been fine-tuned over nearly 50 years. Now imagine that system applied to electric vehicle production on a global scale. While Tesla is still working through factory bottlenecks and Ford is overhauling old assembly lines, Toyota already has the machine in place. Dozens of plants around the world, operating with surgical precision, ready to produce these new vehicles at scale. Not just for China, not just for Japan, but for the entire world. And because Toyota controls such a massive supply chain, from raw materials to final assembly, it doesn't have to pass on cost increases to the customer. It can absorb shocks. It can adjust faster. It can do what most startups and legacy automakers can't: deliver consistency. They didn't build this to make headlines. They built it to win. And that's what makes this platform so dangerous to every competitor in the EV space. It's not flashy. It's not overhyped. It's efficient, stable, ruthless in its precision. This isn't a car, it's a strategy. A long-term, patient, carefully orchestrated plan to take over the market from the bottom up. And it just flipped the EV chessboard. But the boldest part of that strategy? It's not the tech. It's the price. The number that terrifies the entire industry: $13,000. That's not a typo. It's a declaration of war. Forget everything you thought you knew about the price of going electric, because this isn't a discount. It's not a government rebate. It's not a short-term lease gimmick. This is the sticker price. Toyota is selling a fully featured, full-sized electric sport utility vehicle for less than the cost of a 10-year-old used truck. And the impact of that number is more disruptive than any touchscreen or battery chemistry ever could be. Let's look at the math. The Tesla Model Y? That'll set you back more than $43,000. Volkswagen's ID.4, around $38,000. Hyundai's budget entry, the Kona Electric, hovers around $34,000. Toyota just slashed those numbers in half and then some. This isn't just undercutting the competition, it's flipping the table. For decades, electric vehicles were sold as a luxury, something you'd aspire to, something shiny, sleek, and wildly expensive. But Toyota isn't playing that game. They're not trying to be a status symbol. They're trying to be a solution, a mainstream, everyday vehicle that anyone, even a first-time car buyer, can afford. This one price point puts pressure on everything. Government incentives? Now irrelevant in some markets. If your EV is already cheaper than a gas-powered car, what are you subsidizing? Dealership markups? Good luck explaining that to customers when Toyota rolls out a $13,000 SUV with zero fluff. Competitor margins? Crushed. Tesla and Volkswagen built their EV strategies around strong profits per unit. This pricing model tears that apart. And it does more than just stress corporate strategy. It changes consumer psychology. People who were on the fence waiting for the right moment to go electric just got their answer. The someday EV dream, it's here, and it's affordable. Not because the tech got cheaper, but because Toyota got smarter. For families looking to cut gas costs, for young professionals priced out of the traditional EV market, for fleet operators managing razor-thin budgets, this number unlocks electric mobility on a mass scale. It's not a luxury. It's not even a compromise. It's the new normal. The number isn't just low, it's loud, and the whole world just heard it. But there's one thing Toyota couldn't price its way around: one looming obstacle that no platform, no battery, no brilliant partnership can fully solve. What could stop this car cold? There's just one problem, and it's not the car, it's the world around it. Let's be honest. You can build the best electric vehicle on Earth. You can make it fast, comfortable, safe, and affordable. But if the world isn't ready for it, you've still got a problem. Infrastructure remains the elephant in the room. In dense urban centers, sure, chargers are becoming common. Shopping malls, office buildings, gas stations, they're adapting. But in rural towns, in older neighborhoods, in places where electricity isn't even stable, charging stations are few and far between. And for millions of drivers, that makes EVs feel risky. The car may be ready, but the roads aren't. And then there's range anxiety. Even if this vehicle delivers solid real-world range, the psychological fear of getting stranded is still real, especially for first-time EV buyers. Gas cars offer a sense of familiarity. Fill up and go. Electric vehicles ask you to rethink your habits, to plan charging stops, to trust a new system. That kind of transition takes more than just a low sticker price. It takes time, education, and real-world support. And what happens if Toyota succeeds too fast? What if demand surges beyond expectations? We've seen this before. Massive interest followed by production delays, delivery chaos, and customer frustration. Toyota is well equipped to scale, but even the most efficient system has limits. A global rollout of this scale could stress factories, suppliers, and dealerships alike. Then come the geopolitical risks. Most of the vehicle's supply chain, including its key battery components, flows through China. As global tensions rise and trade policies shift, the threat of tariffs, sanctions, or regulatory crackdowns could hit hard. If a diplomatic fallout disrupts raw material access or manufacturing agreements, Toyota's cost advantage could vanish overnight. And let's not forget the after-sales network. Servicing a new EV requires trained technicians, specific tools, and reliable parts access. If Toyota can't rapidly equip its service centers around the world to handle this new wave of electric customers, the experience could sour quickly. It's like giving everyone a smartphone, but no cell towers. The product itself may be brilliant, but if the environment isn't ready, people won't adopt. Even the best machine can fail if the world isn't ready for it. And while Toyota's surging ahead, Tesla's realizing the trap it walked into. Tesla's collapse starts here. Toyota just changed the rules. With one electric vehicle priced at just $13,000, it exposed Tesla's deepest vulnerability. Because for all the hype, Tesla's business model still hinges on one thing: charging more than everyone else. The Model Y and Model 3 aren't entry-level vehicles. They're premium products with premium prices. The average American buyer looking at either of them today is staring down a price tag of over $40,000. That might have worked when Tesla was the only player in town, but now, Toyota has made electric power accessible to the masses. And the idea that you have to spend big to go green is officially dead. Tesla's pricing structure was always a gamble. High margins worked great when there were subsidies, when gas was more expensive, and when buyers had fewer choices. But all of that is shifting. The new reality? Middle-class buyers don't want luxury, they want practicality. And Tesla's pricing model doesn't fit that narrative anymore. The worst part? Tesla can't pivot, at least not without bleeding. Its entire supply chain, factory model, and vertical integration are optimized for high-margin products. Every part of the Tesla ecosystem, from battery production to software development, is built around premium pricing. Slashing those prices to match Toyota's offering would mean sacrificing the very profitability that keeps the company afloat. And then there's the identity crisis. Is Tesla a luxury tech brand, or is it trying to be a car for everyone? Elon Musk has tried to play both sides, teasing affordable models while leaning hard into futuristic concepts like autonomous taxis and humanoid robots. Meanwhile, the average consumer just wants a reliable car that doesn't break the bank. That confusion is costing Tesla more than just sales. The brand is slipping. Once seen as the cool disruptor, Tesla is now caught in political drama, customer backlash, and growing quality control issues. From misaligned panels to overpromised full self-driving features, the cracks are showing. And Toyota, with its rock-solid reputation for reliability, is capitalizing on every single one of them. In many ways, Tesla created the opportunity for Toyota to win. It normalized electric vehicles, made them aspirational, and proved the market existed. But it failed to bring that vision full circle. Tesla opened the door, and Toyota kicked it down. Tesla isn't just losing buyers, it's losing its story. And once you lose the narrative in a market moving this fast, it's nearly impossible to take it back. But it's not just American brands under fire. Europe's giants are stumbling too. Volkswagen just got sidelined. Volkswagen was viewed as the legacy automaker best positioned to dethrone Tesla. With its ID lineup, especially the ID.4, it aimed to lead Europe's electric revolution. The plan seemed solid: modern design, German engineering, and a full embrace of battery electric platforms. But while Volkswagen was stuck in strategy meetings and internal approvals, Toyota was quietly rewriting the rules of the game. Volkswagen didn't fail because it lacked ambition. It failed because it moved too slowly. The ID.4 launched with a price tag over $38,000 in most markets. That number might have worked in 2021. Today, it feels outdated. Toyota has now introduced a full-sized electric sport utility vehicle for just $13,000. That's not a competition, it's a reset. And Volkswagen isn't just behind, it's outclassed. So, what happened? One word: bureaucracy. Volkswagen's decision-making is bogged down by a slow-moving corporate structure. Every initiative must pass through marketing teams, dealership networks, labor unions, and top-tier executives. That model worked in the age of combustion engines and multi-year product cycles. But the electric vehicle world moves faster. Pricing wars, battery innovations, and geopolitical disruptions now happen monthly. Volkswagen simply can't keep up. Then there's structure. Volkswagen still builds like a traditional automaker, centralized, expensive, and Eurocentric. Its electric vehicles are tied to legacy platforms, costly supply chains, and slow ramp-ups. Meanwhile, Toyota has embraced a different model by partnering with Guangzhou Automobile Group in China and using lithium iron phosphate battery technology. Toyota has cut costs dramatically without sacrificing reliability or range. This advantage is playing out most clearly in China, the world's most important electric vehicle market. There, Volkswagen is losing ground fast. Local brands like Build Your Dreams are surging. And now Toyota has entered the battlefield with a shockingly low price point and solid performance. Volkswagen's ID lineup looks stale by comparison. Technically decent, but emotionally flat. The ID.4 doesn't feel bold. It feels safe, overly cautious, and forgettable. Toyota's BZ3X, on the other hand, feels like a movement. It redefines what entry-level electric vehicles can be: practical, exciting, and affordable. And here's the twist. Toyota isn't the only disruptor. Because while Tesla reels and Volkswagen hesitates, another automaker is rising fast, and it's coming straight out of China: the BYD problem, Toyota's final boss. If Toyota is the one to watch, then Build Your Dreams is the one to fear. To much of the Western world, BYD still feels like a shadow brand. It doesn't command the headlines. It doesn't launch cars with glitzy presentations. But in 2023 alone, BYD sold over 3 million new energy vehicles. That number should terrify every major automaker because it means this company isn't just competing, it's dominating. And unlike Toyota, which is shaking up the industry by offering Lexus quality at subcompact prices, BYD is taking an entirely different route. It's attacking from below, undercutting everyone, and making no apologies for it. Cars like the Dolphin and the Seal are redefining the meaning of affordable. They don't just compete with Toyota's $13,000 pricing, they threaten to beat it. And yet, price is only one weapon in BYD's arsenal. The first real advantage: deep-rooted domestic trust. In China, BYD is the electric vehicle brand of choice, not a disruptor, but the standard. Consumers know it, the government backs it, and the infrastructure is tailored to support it. It is the national champion in a country that's rewriting global automotive rules. Tesla may have popularity, Toyota may have reputation, but BYD has the home field advantage, and it's using it brilliantly. The second advantage is perhaps even more dangerous: exports. While American and European automakers scramble to reclaim territory in their home markets, BYD is expanding into Latin America, Southeast Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. These aren't just growth markets, they're future strongholds. BYD is putting cars on roads that legacy brands have ignored for too long. No flashy slogans, no billion-dollar ad budgets, just quiet, deliberate conquest, one port at a time. Toyota knows this. The BZ3X wasn't just built to scare Tesla. It was built to keep up with BYD, because this is no longer a one-on-one showdown. This is a three-way war, and BYD, ironically, might be the only one with nothing to lose. BYD doesn't have to protect an old business model. It doesn't have to appease old investors or cling to legacy dealerships. It's building an empire from scratch, and it's doing it on its own terms. So, while Toyota races to scale and Tesla struggles to redefine itself, BYD is doing the quietest thing a competitor can do: win. This isn't a race anymore. It's a war. And Toyota, for all its success, might be staring straight at its final boss. Now, this is going to be hard, but who knows what's going to come next. So, let's talk down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you